Mabuhay everyone, hello. Water is something we all take for granted. In my lifetime, we had an E. coli crisis in Walkerton, Ontario, and a family member of mine ended up in the hospital for a week. So I understand having good drinking water is super, super important, and you can't take that for granted. A lot of people come to the Philippines with this impression that you should not drink the water that comes out of the tap. Every place we go, Airbnb, hotel, they either provide water or big jugs, these big blue jugs of water for you to be using as drinking water. And so we also hear on another side, when we first came here, they're like, no, you can drink the water out of the tap. It's good, it's healthy, it's clean. I've checked the websites and the government claims that the drinking water is safe to drink here as well. They say something like, there's different numbers, but 94 or 92% of all people in the Philippines have access to clean drinking water. So let's put it to the test.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. What we did is we got, these ones, but it's called Verify. This water testing kit is a little bit different and it's a little bit more expensive. To give you an idea, it's about 3,400 pesos for these tests. You can get normal strip tests very economically, but that isn't going to tell you if there's any fecal matter or E. coli in the water. That needs a bacteria test. And these tests only come with 2. And that's the most expensive part of this test. So we're gonna do it. Let's check it out. Let's see how good the water is here, well, especially here on Boracay where we live, but maybe we'll do another one in another place. The test also comes with these little handy guides. It is the EPA standards reference chart. And so they list what the acceptable levels are for each test they do. And the tests include lead, copper, mercury, fluoride, total chlorine, nitrite, and nitrate. So it was iron, magnesium, zinc, sulfate, hydrogen sulfide, the pH level, total alkalinity, total hardness, and sodium chloride. So that's what we're gonna do. Each test comes with a whole package of them, and there are 16 water tests in this one. And then on the side here, you can see that you have different color codes, and that will tell you which level it is. You only have 60 seconds. After that, you got to use another test strip. So make sure you do it quickly and have a lovely secretary like I do, so that she can write them down the moment we check them, and then we can compare it to the EPA standards when we're all done. All right, let's go for it. So they provide a test tube for you to put the water into. You should run your water for 2 to 3 minutes just to flush the system to get the most accurate result. It also, in case your tap has a little bit of bacteria on it or something, it can wash it away and get you the actual drinking water's testing done. You will notice that we also have a water filtration system on it, and it looks pretty dirty. The thing is it was very, very clean until we had a big rainstorm, and then all of a sudden, we started to see this brown showing up. Now, it could be the age of the filter because it's a couple months old, or maybe it was something that happened during that storm. But we're gonna test without that filter, 100% right on the straight through tap part, and that way you know exactly what it is, regardless if you have a water filtration system or not.
The filter.
Okay, there we go. We got our tap water. We're ready to go.
In the beaker. You're such a scientist.
I am such a scientist. So, Vanna White, before you write anything down, could you open this and give me a single strip and then immediately seal it afterwards?
Well, I would do that, but they're in packages.
Yeah, you seal that too. think it's resealable. Oh, never mind.
I think these have
Okay.
16, so you have multiple tests.
There you go. This one says 20 test strips, 16 parameter water test strips. Oh, so there's like 100 in this.
Oh, yeah, there's 100 test strips.
There we go. There's 100 test strips in them, and they're individually packaged in 20s.
So you don't accidentally waste them.
Now you know, and you can see we actually didn't pre-test and everything else and make sure it was okay before we tested this.
Yeah,
and,
if this goes
filmed
wrong,
it.
this is on us.
This goes wrong, it goes wrong. It happened. Okay, let's open that up. And then, yeah, you gotta put them back in here so that it's sealed after. And we only hold the end. You're not supposed to touch any part of the strip.
Ooh, these are pretty. They're like paint testing.
Paint by numbers. And so you hang on to it on the end only. You dip it in to the water. 1, 2. Shake it. Can you take that, please?
Of course I can.
And you're supposed to shake any residual water off of it. And then here we go. Time to line this up. So the first test is the alkali level. And it seems
Total.
to be the highest one, isn't it? Okay, read the top one.
Oh, pH level?
Yeah.
6.
Write down 6.
So 6.0.
Yep.
Okay, next.
Next one is the second one in.
Hardness, which is 2.25? 25. 25.
All right, nitrogen is just straight white, so the first one.
Nitrogen? Or
Hydrogen, sorry, hydrogen.
0?
Mhm. Your iron is also the bottom one. 0. Your copper is the highest one, or the bottom one.
0.
Now lead, we're way over there-ish. It's not that color, so it's that one right there.
5.
Oh, that could be bad. All right, your manganese is the lowest.
Which is 0? Okay, you're actually not touching.
Okay, second one in. Oh, I can touch this.
Oh, chlorine is.
The second one in.
Yeah, it doesn't give me the numbers. I have to read the math on that.
And, yeah. Okay, so second one in for the next chlorine.
But mercury?
Chlorine?
We did chlorine.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, bottom one.
0.
Nitrate, second one in.
Nitrate.
Nitrite, and then nitrate. Same thing. Second one in on both of them. Sulfate, I would say,
0.
yeah, 0. Zinc, I would say that's 0 also. Fluoride, last one. And I guess it's the darkest one, 0.
I would probably say, I don't know, because it doesn't really match that.
But it doesn't get more red, it would get lighter.
Okay, 0.
And then alkali is 0. Well,
Cool.
in between 0 and whatever that is. Let's do that one actually. Okay, so now when we're doing these results, there is some conflicting things. The cool thing is they put a green zone on each one. So see there's a green line, and as long as you're within that green line, it's considered safe. But then they give you a reference chart and also on the form you fill in that tells you what the EPA primary maximum levels are. The thing is they're saying how many milligrams per liter. Here, they're saying how many parts per million, so ppm, or how many parts per billion. And so it can get very complicated. So if you get a rating of 5 on here, but then you read it and you're like, wait, that's parts per million, but the EPA chart's parts per billion. So you got to move the decimal over. And so a 5 is actually 0.005. So not even 1%.
This
of
is so
1.
confusing. Why is it?
Right?
Why do they make it so hard?
So I think when you're doing these tests here, the most important part is, does it fall under the green bar on here that says safe for drinking? I wanted to explain to you because if you get this test and you run this test, you're going to be really confused. And we just spent 5 minutes discussing this and trying to figure out what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah, because these are all in parts per million. And so when we got the answer, we wrote it down. So for example, we have lead, it's at 5 ppm. But you're supposed to only have 0.015 ppm. And that's because when we recorded the 5, it was actually meant to be a billion.
Yes, billion,
ppb
not
on
million.
this.
Exactly.
What?
So there you go.
Splashing water at them.
All right, so now we're going to do it the right way after going over this whole thing and making sure that we're getting it right for all of you. And so our test for pH level is
6.
And does 6 fit into?
It's actually below. We're actually below. It's supposed to be 6.5 to 8.
So there you go. So our pH level is actually lower than the EPA standards. Okay, next one. Tell me what the hardness is.
25 ppm.
Now, hardness doesn't necessarily hurt you in any way. Generally means there's a lot of minerals or something like that in there. When you use a shower, you're going to use more shampoo, you're going to use more conditioner, that kind of thing when you have hard water. That's why a lot of people in the West will get water softeners, especially in Canada where everything is there's high concentrations of minerals in the ground, and you end up with really hard water. Mm-hmm. It also gives you that white stains that you see on different types of shower heads and everything else, and eventually that calcifies, and then it can be a problem for your pipes. All right, so we're good?
Yeah, we're on the lower end of it. It's between 10 and 100.
Yeah, and we were?
Cheers, 25.
There you go, 25 between the 10 and 100. So that's not too bad. All right, what about the nitrogen sulfide? Now this one,
Hydrogen
safe
sulfide?
Drinking is only 0.
Hydrogen sulfide.
Sorry, hydrogen sulfide.
0.
Yeah, 0. And it shows it's unsafe if you had any more than 0. Next part, iron. Where are we on iron?
0.
We are at 0. Not a lot of big surprises here. All the pipes, by the way, coming into our house here are all PVC pipes. And so you don't get a lot of lead, copper. I have a feeling we're not going to see any of that kind of stuff. But it could be at the water treatment plant. That's the only part you don't know.
Right.
All right, so let's go to copper.
0 as well.
0 on the copper. Look at that. Wow. All right, lead. Very, very important. Lead.
Okay, this is the one where we messed up. Well, they messed up because it's the 5 ppm. But it's not. It's 5 ppb.
We are 5 parts per billion on lead, and the allowable amount is 5 parts per...
It's 0.015 ppm.
Right.
It doesn't give me the billion.
1.5 per thousand, essentially, I think it means.
Yes, sure. Cheers.
Something like that.
Cheers. Okay. I think we're good though. I think it's...
Yeah, we're well within. It shows it on here that we are within the standards for drinking water. Lower the better. Obviously with lead. You do not want lead because that affects kidney function, all kinds of things. So you definitely don't want to have high lead in your water. Magnesium is the next one.
0.
0? Wow. And you can have all the way up to 0.1. So we're doing good. We're doing good. What about chlorine?
We have 0.5.
0.5. That's a very low number. Yeah. Really, really low number. Actually, that's really fantastic. You can go all the way up to a 3, and they don't even have, well, they have half of 1. Okay.
And I figured there'd be more chlorine in the water as it's used to like clean out water.
Yeah, but it depends on the water source. And I believe here on the island, that everything comes from the mainland, from the mountain springs. So it would make sense you wouldn't have to put a lot of chlorine in. All right, next one is mercury.
0.
We got a 0. No mercury in the water. absolutely important.
That's really good.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty
If
good.
you were born, I guess, in the 1950s and you went to school, you probably played with mercury that used to come out of the, what do you call them? Thermometers. And they used to play with them, and it was a normal thing in school to play with mercury. And then we realized how dangerous that is. Do not play with mercury. Mercury is bad. Okay, let's do nitrate with an A.
10.
A 10.
Oh, that's our max.
And so we are at the max for nitrate. And, well, at least we're in it. We're at the max for safe drinking.
I don't even know what nitrate is. Wait, that's fertilizer.
Yeah, it's a naturally formed, yeah.
Fertilizer. Why is there fertilizer here? You're not allowed to farm.
I don't know.
That's
So we got
suspicious.
a higher, but within legal limits of for nitrate. Okay, nitrite.
It's
with an I.
also our max, which is 1.
Okay, well there you go. And I have a feeling they might be part of the same family. I'm not sure. You chemists out there, you can tell us.
Yeah, I forget what the 8 and the I mean.
Yeah.
Because they're both nitrogen.
Right. Sulfate. How are we doing on sulfate?
0. Which is
0?
weird, because our maximum is 250
Wow.
ppm.
Wow, look at that. All right, let's go to zinc.
Also 0.
0?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. We have another winner here. Fluoride. Now, this is something that's usually added to water. It's been done, I don't even remember the date they started adding it, but it was supposed to help with teeth. And so the government started putting it into all of the water. How are we doing with fluoride?
0.
They do not add fluoride here.
I mean, that'd be like expensive eventually.
Yeah, it's probably an added cost. How about sodium chloride?
0 as
0.
well.
0 on the sodium chloride. And you can go all the way to 250 on that. So, yeah. And now the total alkali. Now this one is interesting because you need not a low alkali level and you don't want a high alkali level. You want something in the middle. You want a number between, what's that say right there?
75 and 150.
So between 75 and 150. So, ding, ding, ding. Are you ready? Drum roll. Where are we on our alkali level?
40.
Oh, 40.
We're below.
We are below. So, yeah. We'll have to find out what that means. Because,
Maybe we didn't do the test long enough?
It's potentially that, but we can run a second test and just confirm all these numbers. And so when you look at the alkali level, and so if you have a low alkali level, things are more likely to be corrosive, and high levels actually cause scaling. So there you go. So when you see scaling showing up in all of your bathroom items, that kind of thing, you have a high alkalinity level. If you have a low alkalinity level, well, things are going to start to rust, like metal pipes, that kind of thing, more frequently. But it does not state that it's damaging for you. So the alkalinity for humans, though, what it does is it helps reduce acid levels in your stomach. So it's important to have a good level on that.
But I guess it's okay if you have a low acid level in your water as well.
It's not 0, so it's not at the bottom, but it is low. So honestly, though, based on that,
man, we have the best water.
This isn't bad water at all. Clearly, go ahead and drink. By the way, that's without the filter.
Yeah.
Right?
The filter probably.
That's without our
doesn't
charcoal
really do
filter.
anything.
So if we were to use the charcoal filter in addition to that, I don't know. Now, there's one more test, but that test is going to take a few days because the bacteria has to grow. And so they provide...
We're doing science in here.
Yes, we are scientists. They provide these. And you can see there's already an ingredient in here that obviously will activate with it. And so we need to fill this and keep it for 48 hours. Then we can check to see if there's any bacterial growth inside the water.
This is the one I'm scared for, though.
Yes. And so this is the one that, this is fecal matter and E. coli. This is the very, very important one that most people are worried about, that you would normally be filtering out with a charcoal filter, chlorine tablets, something like that. And when you have a low chlorine level, well, maybe there's a possibility. So for that, though, we're going to have to wait. It can't be in this video because it takes 48 hours, and tomorrow we are heading out for a 3-day trip. So when we come back, that'll be our very first thing we do, and that way we have the results to you before we go to Cebu. But before we go, real quickly, we're going to run another test and we'll let you know if it came out exactly
We're
the
going
same.
to double check. It's always good to double check.
It's hard to tell, but you at home, if you want to participate, there you go. So,
All right. I believe it's still at the lowest. So this one's 6. This one, I think 0 as well. Maybe the 25. They're too close to each other. It literally looks the same.
yeah, we're in between those two though.
Yeah.
The hardness is low. That's the key.
Hydrogen 0. This one's 0.
This one's here, here, here.
The lead one has gone up. Not all the way. It's still in the.
Yeah, still in the safe, okay.
Manganese is 0.
Even these are kind of like in between. Still within the green, within the green,
Yeah.
within the green.
Green. The zinc is up to 5.
Oh, and look at that. Alkali level is better. We're in the green. It's not yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
Oh, we did say 40. No, it's 40, but in
No,
this
it shows
test-
it's okay here.
Yeah, it just says this is the EPA primary
Okay.
and secondary one.
So there you go. We ran it again. Everything is within the safe limits and kind of worked out almost identical this time once again. So we're feeling very confident about it. The water's looking good so far. Stay tuned. This strip test, though, very economical. So you can pick these up on Lazada, Shopee, wherever. And without the bacteria sample, it's actually just a few dollars to get the test strip. So you might want to do it and just have it lying around.
Yeah, in
It's
case
very
you're
important.
curious.
Yeah, well, and you don't want lead in your water, you don't want mercury in your water, along with some of the other things in here. So it's still really important. But yeah, it worked out. We ran the test the second time, pretty much identically the same, maybe even a little higher pH level, so slightly anyway. So maybe that one thing is not even a concern.
Yeah.
So, but stay tuned, and 4 days from now when we return, we will run the bacteria test. Then after 48 hours, we will come and we'll provide an episode that gives you an update on what does it have in the form of bacteria in our water.
Coli.
Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed this information.
That was
you know,
fun. That was
it's fun.
interesting.
It's fun and it's interesting.
It's like
And
a science experiment.
yeah, exactly. I don't have a lab coat. I should have wore a lab coat, right?
Only a cooking apron.
Yeah, I have a cooking apron. Apparently. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.